Hello friends, now I am going to explain about structure concept. So first we have to know the definition of this structure. Structure is collection of different data type elements. Just we have to compare the structure definition with the array definition. So array is collection of same data type elements. But here the difference is in structure it is the collection of different data type elements. In array it is the collection of same data type elements. In structure it is the collection of different data type elements. So to store the different data type elements at a time we have to use the structures. First, structure syntax declaration. Syntax is to declare the structure. Struct, here struct is the keyword. Struct is the keyword to represent the structure. Struct followed by structure name. So here we have to give the name of the structure. We can name the structure name as our wish. Next, in between open and close braces, it is having n number of elements. Example, element 1, element 2, element 3 and so on, element n. Each element is having its data type. So data type, here you can write either integer or char or float as your wish. You have to write the data type here. And element 1, this is one element with some data type. Next, element 2 with another data type, element 3 with another data type. Like you can declare here n number of elements. All elements may be different in its data type. So structure is the collection of different data type elements. So here it is having n number of different elements. All elements may be different in its data type. Maybe it is integer and it is float, it is char. Like you can give the data type as your wish. So structure is collection of different data type elements. Okay, next we can explain with some example to declare the structure. So based on the syntax, here struct keyword, name of the structure, n number of elements and structure variables. Here you can give n number of variables, variable 1, variable 2 and so on, variable n. We can access all these elements through variables. So here variable 1 dot element 1, variable 1 dot element 2, variable 1 dot element 3 and so on, variable 1 dot element n. And like same, variable 2 dot element 1, variable 2 dot element 2, variable 2 dot element 3 and so on, variable 2 dot element n. Like this we can access all these elements. Now we can explain with some example. In this example, so first we have to write struct keyword. This is the example to declare some structure. Struct is the keyword and next we have to give the name of the structure. Name of structure is our wish. So I am giving that name of the structure as employee. So here employee is the name of structure, like variable name and array name. This is structure name. So struct is the keyword, name of the structure is employee. In between these open and close braces, we have to give n number of elements. So how many number of elements we need, we have to give that elements with its data type. So in the structure employee, I have to maintain the data employee name, employee ID and employee salary. So employee name is, that is a string. So we need one array to store that string. So array size is 20 and data type is char. So this is the first structure member. Data type is char, array name is name, array size is 20. Next, to store employee ID, int id. So id is one variable integer data type. We are using this id to store the employee id. Next, to store the salary we need one variable. Salary is the maybe a long integer, so we have to declare as long int. So char name to store the name of employee, int id to store the employee id, long int salary to store the salary. So in employee details we have to maintain these three: name, id and salary. So I am declaring these three as structure members. Next, structure variables. PRIEMP means private employee, PUBEMP means public employee. So I have to maintain all these details for private employee, at the same time for public employee. So I am giving private employee and public employee as structure variables. We can access the structure elements through these structure variables. So we can store the information here like private employee.name, private employee.id, private employee.salary. At the same time, public employee.name, public employee.id, public employee.salary. So in structure we are storing different data type elements because it is a char data type, int data type, long int data type. So in structure we are collecting or storing different data type elements. So we are saying that the definition as a structure is collection of different data type elements. Next, we can declare in another way also. Very small difference here. This total body is same. So struct employee 3 structure members, that is good, but every time no need to give the structure variables here only. We can give the structure variables in another place also, that is like this. So this is same. Struct keyword structure name employee 3 structure members, name, id and salary. And next I am not giving structure variables here, I am giving structure variables at another place. So to give the structure variables at anywhere, you have to write this. Struct employee keyword and structure name, struct employee followed by structure variables. Structure variables are private employee comma public employee. So struct employee, private employee comma public employee. So private employee and public employee, these two are the structure variables for the structure of employee. Okay, next we can give n number of structure elements and also we can give n number of structure variables. And another different type is this one. In example 2, struct employee, same, struct is the keyword, employee is the name of structure. Here also it is having 3 members, name, id, salary, but here structure variable is array. Here structure variable is array. So employee of 50. So it is equal to 50 structure elements. It is equal to 50 structure variables like employee 0, employee 1, employee 2, employee 3 and so on, employee 49. Because this is the array with the size 50 from 0 to 49. Employee 0 dot name, employee 0 dot id, employee 0 dot salary. And next employee 1 dot name, employee 1 dot id, employee 1 dot salary and so on. We can maintain these employee information for total 50 employees. 50th employee information is employee 49 dot name, employee 49 dot id, employee 49 dot salary. Okay, next here also no need to give the structure variable here only. We can it is allowed to give the structure variable at anywhere like this. Struct employee 3 members and next structure variable declaration. Struct employee, employee is the structure name, variable is employee of 50, employee of 50. So employee of 50 is the structure variable and employee is the name of structure. So for the employee structure, variable is employee of 50. So it is having total 50 employees. Next we can explain one sample program by using structures. So here hash include stdio.h header file. Why? Because we are using printf function. Next, this is structure declaration. Struct point. So struct is the keyword, point is the structure name. Here int x comma y, these two are the structure elements. X is one element and y is another element, both are integer data type. Next, structure variable. I am not giving structure variable here, and I can give the structure variable at somewhere. Okay, we will check that later. Int main, program execution will be start with main function. In main function, this is the structure variable declaration. I am not giving that structure variable here. I am giving the structure variable declaration here. So based on the previous example, like this, structure variable declaration is struct point. So struct point p1 is the structure variable. So struct point p1, here p1 is the structure variable. That variable is for the structure of point. Next, equal to 0 comma 1, this is the values assigning. So struct point p1, so here p1 is the structure variable for the structure of point. In the structure point, it is having two elements, x and y. So we can store the data like p1.x and p1.y. So here I am giving the values 0 comma 1. So 0 will be stored in p1.x, 1 will be stored in p1.y. So p1.x is 0, p1.y is 1. And next I am assigning p1.x is equal to 20. Actually p1.x is 0 here. So with this instruction, this value 0 will be replaced by 20. So p1.x is equal to 20. Before this instruction, p1.x is 0, p1.y is 1. Now p1.x will be replaced with 20. So in p1.x it is having value 20, in p1.y it is having value 1. Now we have to print that x and y values by using printf statement. X is equal to %d. So at this %d, it prints the value p1.x. So in p1.x it is having value 20. So x is equal to 20, x is equal to 20, and like y is equal to %d. At this %d, it prints the value of p1.y. In p1.y it is having value 1. So y is equal to 1. So we are getting the output like x is equal to 20 and y is equal to 1. Thank you.